of the time, it's just me here. The mornings start early, like most days, before the heat. Coffee first, then the work. Not long after, my neighbor António drives up the path. He brings food for the cat. For years, while no one lived here, he was the one taking care of him. Even when the farm was empty, someone was still coming up here every morning. He didn't have to, but he did. My neighbor António knows this land better than I ever will. One day, he walked up the hill with me to show where the boundaries were. We walked through high brooms, rocks, and thick brush.
Ai, Nossa Senhora.
To be honest, today I have no idea where most of those lines actually were.
Ah, sim.
Lá também usam para baixo, cruz.
Não faço ideia.
But at the time, he knew exactly where we were standing.
Só por ali. Ali está limpo.
He has been around this land for a long time, and people like him carry knowledge that doesn't exist on maps.
Faz quadrado, lá em cima.
Ok, estou a ver. Isto limpinho. Ah, isto é espetacular. Passa para um ninho de vespas assim. Pois.
pedra, mas está tudo. Olha lá. Mas pintaram a pesca.
Sim, parece.
Parece que está da cor da telha.
Sim, parece que tiveram a pintar. Então foi para o seu lado.
Mas olha que a minha está tudo certo, a minha está limpa. Por enquanto, vou limpando.
Pois. So yesterday I had some friends coming by and helping me. We took a lot of brooms from this piece of land here. As you can see, there are many still. Now I'm gonna brush cut this area, and then I'm gonna try to tidying up all this area, which is actually my base camp kind of. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to tidy as much as possible because there are a lot of branches everywhere, a lot of pieces of wood and mixed with rocks and yeah, all kind of brambles. I'm gonna try to clean this as much as possible. Let's go.
One of the areas that still needed attention was what I called base camp. For now, base camp is simple. Just a van, the sheds where I keep tools and spend time when I'm working here. So the goal was straightforward: move the stones that had been scattered around and make the space easier to use. It's nothing complicated, just physical work. But every small improvement makes this place a bit more functional. In the future, this will probably become a shared space. Somewhere to cook, eat, maybe gather with friends. But for now, it's just about making the ground usable. I finally started tackling something I had been postponing for a long time: the stone walls between the terraces.
Hey again. So this morning the task will be cleaning up the stone walls as much as possible with a brush cutter to make them visible. That way I also have more, I have a better idea how the terraces are divided and where they are, although they are pretty much visible right now. So, but I'm gonna still use my time to clean up the walls, and I'm gonna do that right now. Let's go.
For years, these stone walls had disappeared behind thick brambles. There are many of them across the property, dividing the terraces and shaping the land. Most of them were completely buried under vegetation. I started with a brush cutter just to remove the bulk of the brambles. Had to clear things quickly at first, but it's only the first step. To slow down the regrowth, I also had to go back with pruning shears and cut the brambles as close to the base as possible.
So this is how it looks right now, one of the walls. I've been brush cutting manually and with the machine as much as possible. There are places where are a lot of wild berry bushes, as you can see here also. Not so easy sometimes. It takes time, but I would say it's getting good, or at least the part that's done, it looks quite okay. Here I need to come and clean it better. Yeah, and that part over there I'm gonna leave it for now because it has a lot of berries, so I would say like in 1 or 2 weeks I can go for it, and then all this wall will be done. Very nice.
Took me weeks of work. What you see here in a few seconds actually happened over several different weeks. Little by little, the walls started to appear again, and with them, the shape of the terraces. Between the stones, it's almost impossible to remove the roots completely, and I will not use any chemicals here. And the reason is because there are trees, roots, grapevines, and other plants that I want to save.
So what I'm doing here is trying to cut the wild berry bushes because they are super tangled with the grapes, and of course I'm trying to save as much as possible because I have a lot of grapes in the farm right now. And yeah, the great thing is like I didn't do anything for that to happen, so my goal is like to save as much as possible from the grapes, and for that I need to do this really kind of annoying task, but yeah, it needs time, it needs patience, but yeah, here I am. Let's do it.
Here I couldn't use the brush cutter. The brambles were wrapped tightly around the vines, and using the machine would destroy them. So this part had to be done slowly, using pruning shears and working branch by branch. The goal here is to save as many vines as possible. Even without any care for years, most of them are still producing grapes. That alone is reason enough to give them a chance. If the vines survived all this time on their own, they deserve to stay. So the work becomes more delicate here, untangling the brambles, freeing the vines, and giving them space again. It's slow work, but necessary. Because once the vines are free, the terraces begin to look alive again. Slowly, the structure of the land starts to return. It's still summer and everything looks dry under the heat. But that will change soon. In a few weeks, the rains will return. And when that happens, the landscape will change again.